Today I'm really thankful my Tibetan friend would like to share his feeling about the two big fire which happened in Yunnan and Sichuan. The biggest Tibetan Buddhist institute, Setter Lagranga, was reported destroyed by a massive fire at 7:30 p.m. on 9th of January 2014. And the other massive fire which happened the following day in the midnight on 11th. A huge fire occurred at the ancient Tokar town in Shangri-La, Yunnan province. So please, Mr. Phunstok, please introduce yourself.
As you have mentioned, I'm Phunstok. I'm one of your very close friends, and I'm very thankful to you with your friendship and the association with the Tibetan movement. At the same time, Tibetan village children, where you involve yourself with several productive programs last year and this year. So, as an introduction, I am Tibetan, born in Lhasa. I escaped from Tibet in 1959, followed His Holiness Dalai Lama, and then studied here in the Tibetan school. And later in 1975, I started working, and since then I've been working in the same institution for the last 38 years. Now, regarding the fire in these two monasteries, it's very unfortunate, and we all feel very sad. But then if you really analyze the incident, it is very doubtful. First of all, the Chinese government, they are trying to put a lot of pressure on the Tibetans who are in Tibet, and then they wanted to uproot our religion. They wanted to alienate, and then they wanted Tibetan to be like Chinese. The two places that you have mentioned, actually you said Yunnan and Sichuan, but then these are originally Tibetan province. We call them Kham and Amdo region, not Yunnan or Sichuan. We don't use Chinese, name for Tibetan holy places. And regarding the fire, the incident is very doubtful. The Chinese government, they are trying to uproot and relocate the people living in this area, and then they wanted to build tunnel, then they wanted to start mining the whole area. So recently the resident in these two areas, they launched a very strong protest. So to counter that, they were putting up a lot of pressure on the local Tibetans, and then imprisoning them, and then some putting them in the prison, some just arresting for no reason, and many are relocated from their original hometown. Many of these Tibetans in this area are nomads. So they uplifted them, cleared the area, shifted them to other places, and then these people who are relocated, they are facing a lot of problems because their whole lifestyle is changed. No animals, and then living, suddenly living in a big city, no livelihood. It's very, very, precarious situation. And regarding the fire, I really doubt, the source. It could be a deliberate act to get rid of, this area, especially the monastery. And the Chinese government, they are very, very strict, and then they lay down certain rules which are opposite of what we believe. The Chinese, basically, they don't believe in religion. They say religion is poison, whereas the Tibetans, from generation to generation, it's in our blood, it's in our thought, and then suddenly to kind of uproot them is very difficult. So this incident of fire, I think it's deliberate, but then I cannot say with certainty. But then the Chinese government, they have their their objective, there are certain things in their mind to clear the area. So this could be a way to get rid of the people and the monastery. So these monasteries, these are the main center of our social activities and the main center of learning. And then they wanted to uproot that. They have laid down many new rules, like children below 18, they are not allowed to join the monasteries or nunneries. The people, and then in the same way, monks or nuns who are over 60, they were uprooted. They were not allowed to stay in the monastery. Whereas in our tradition, monastery is like their home. It's their like family. From the time they enroll in the monastery till their last breath, they stay in the same monastery, and monastery is their livelihood. Monastery is their family, and then you can't impose rules which are not in our tradition. So this fire thing is very unfortunate, and I really suspect the source.
Mr. Phunstok, do you have any message you would like to send to the Tibetan inside Tibet?
The Tibetans inside Tibet, the majority of the Tibetans are in Tibet. Only a very handful, even less than 5% of the Tibetan population were able to escape and follow His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So the majority of the Tibetans are in Tibet. So they are the main source of inspiration to us. Whatever we do it because of the their unfailing kind of spirit. Despite the fact that Chinese have been very strict, but then they risk their life, they risk everything, and then resort to so many non-violence means like self-immolation. This is actually you are hurting yourself, you are killing yourself, but at the same time you are not hurting anybody. They just do this out of desperation, as a last resort. They have been appealing to the local government, they have been appealing to the central government, to the Chinese government, but then when no one hears about their feeling, then this is the last resort. They just do it. So we get all our inspiration from the things that's been happening in Tibet, and then I would like to tell the Tibetans in Tibet that we are there. You can count on us, and then whatever is possible from our side, we'll go all out.
Okay. The final question: do you have any words for China government or Chinese, and also for the international community?
Well, to the Chinese people, we really feel that many things they just do it out of ignorance, and then if they know the real situation, real feeling of Tibet and Tibetan, I think many of the educated youngsters, young Chinese, are on our side, not siding, but then whatever is true, they believe in the truth, and the truth is one of the most powerful weapon. And then to the Chinese, government, they should be sensible enough to see the real situation. For the past 60 years.